Hey guys, it's Miss Keenum, and today we're going to talk about multiplication. We are going to learn how to multiply numbers using the partial products method. Anytime we use the partial products method to multiply numbers, there's 3 steps that we will complete in each problem. The first step is put the problem into expanded form. The second step is to multiply the parts, and the third step is to add the products. We will go over each of these steps in the following examples so you will know what they are and how to complete them. If you do not know how to put a number into expanded form and you need more help than what's about to follow or what's going to be explained in the video today, go back and look at the place value video uploaded earlier. Okay, in our first problem, it says to multiply 4 times 13. So my first step is to put the number in expanded form. To do that, I look at my numbers 4 and 13. Whoops. Look at my numbers. 4 and 13. So 4 is in the ones place value. It doesn't need to be expanded, so I just write 4. But 13 has a tens and a ones place value, so I will expand that number. To do that, I write 4 times, and then I'm going to put my expanded form in parentheses to group it together. That expanded form becomes 10 plus 3. See how 10 plus 3 equals 13? So that's the easiest expanded form. You could have also said 4 times 5 plus 5 plus 3. Anything really would work to give you, as long as what's in parentheses equals 13, but 10 plus 3 is the easiest way to do it. So our second step is to multiply the parts. So when I do that, I'm going to multiply my 4 times the 10. And I'm also going to multiply my 4 times the 3. So here I have to multiply my 4 times every number that I put in expanded form. If I had done that, if I had put the 13 in the expanded form of 5 plus 3, I would have added one more step. I would have had to say 4 times 5, and then I would have had to say 4 times 5 again, and then lastly, I would have said 4 times 3. So see how that added one more step? So I'm just going to leave it like this. So 4 times 10 equals 40. And 4 times 3 equals 12. Then my third step is to add the products. My products are the answers that I got in step 2. So I'll say 40 plus 12 equals 52. So my answer to this problem, as is already shown, is 52. Okay, here's a graphic representation of this problem. So 4 times 13 equals 52 is also the same thing as writing 13 times 4 equals 52. In multiplication, I can do it either way. I can write the problem both ways. It means the same thing. So as you can see, I can either do 13 columns of 4 rows, and if I count all these dots, I get the answer 52. Or I could do 4 columns of 13 rows and get the answer 52. Either way, I get the same answer. And this is one way that if you did not know how to solve the problem, you could solve it. Multiplication is just simply putting or adding groups of numbers. So here's one way to do it. Another way to look at this problem graphically, and this goes better with the place value way that we're looking at it, is to make 4 groups. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. And then in each group, I'm putting 13. So I have 1 group of 10 in each group. And then I have 3 extra ones, which are represented by the 3 squares. So essentially in each group, I have 10 plus 3. So I could solve this problem in many ways. I could go ahead and say 10 plus 3 equals 13. Add my 13 4 times and come up with the answer 52. Or I could split it even further down and add my 10 4 times and come up with 40. My 3 4 times come up with 12. And then add 40 plus 12 to get the answer 52. Or what would be easier than adding 10 4 times is to say 10 times 4 equals 40. 3 times 4 equals 12, and add my 40 plus my 12 to get my 52. This is what we just did without drawing pictures. If you need to draw pictures, you're more than welcome to do that. Okay, our next example is 20 times 45. So I'm going to put 20 times 45 in expanded form. Now 20 could be put into expanded form where I say 20 plus 0, but that's not really needed. It just kind of adds an extra step. So we're not going to do 20 plus 0. We're just simply going to keep our 20 as it is. And then we're going to put our 45 into expanded form. So to put our 45 into expanded form, we're going to say 40 plus 5. Remember, I can put whatever I want in this expanded form right here as long as it equals 45. But this is the easiest and simplest way to do it. Okay, now I'm going to multiply my parts. Remember, I have to multiply my 20 times my 40. And then I have to multiply my 20 times my 5. Okay, so 20 times 40. The easiest way to solve that is to say 2 times 4 equals 8. Then add my 2 zeros, the 0 behind the 2 and the 0 behind the 4, which is 20 times 40 equals 800. And then 20 times 5. So 2 times 5 is 10. And then I add my 1 0 behind my 2. So 20 times 5 is 100. Then I add my products. Remember, my products are my answers from step 2. So 800 plus 100 gives me 900. So my answer to this problem is 900. Okay, lastly, the last problem we're going to do, if I can get to it, is 37 times 25. So I'm going to put it in expanded form because that's my first step. But notice how in this problem, my 37 and my 25 can be put into expanded form. That's a little different. So I'm going to say 30 plus 7 times 20 plus 5. This problem's a little bigger, but we're going to work it in the exact same way. So what I'm going to do next is multiply my parts. I have 4 numbers here. I'm going to have 4 parts to multiply. So as before, we multiplied our 30 times our 20 and our 30 times our 5. So down here, I'm going to say 30 times 20. And that's going to equal 600. Remember, I say 3 times 2 is 6. Now add my 2 zeros. Then I'm going to say, okay, now I have 30 times 5. That's going to become 3 times 5 is 15. Add my 0, so 30 times 5 is 150. And then I'm going to have to go back and start over. And this time I'm going to say 7 times 20 and 7 times 5. So I also have to add this in step 2. So I multiply 30 times each expanded form of 25, and then I have to multiply 7 times each expanded form of 25. So now I'm going to say 7 times 20, which equals 140. Remember, I say 7 times 2 equals 14, and I add my 0. And then I'm going to say 7 times 5, which equals 35. Okay, now I go to my third step, which is to add the products. This time when I add the products, I have to add all 4 of the answers that I got from step 2. So I'm going to say 600 plus 150 plus 140 plus 35. Okay, and that becomes 5. 3 plus 4 is 12. Add 5 to that. It's going to be 17. I'm sorry, it's going to be 12. And then 6, 7, 8, 9. So my answer is 925. So this was just a quick video on how to multiply numbers using the partial product. In the future, we'll learn how to multiply numbers using the area model method. Thanks for listening today.